Okay, here we are again. All right. Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Who's singing that song right now? Are you singing that song right now?
No, I'm not.
Aren't you feeling the feeling?
Not really.
Right.
This is actually for obvious reasons. I mean,
for obvious reasons.
The nation has actually been thrown into mourning, taking a look at, the cases of, stampedes
right.
Last week. It's
right.
really very disturbing. So at the end of the day, it's really not going to be a Merry Christmas.
I get that, though. But you know what, MYFA? Hey, I want you to look at the brighter side. Look at the brighter side, girl. Look at the brighter side, lady. Look at the brighter side, mama. Huh? All of this is you. You're a female, you're a lady, you're a mama, you're everything. Come on, MYFA, just chill, man. All right? Let the Christmas flow through you and flow through the Christmas as well. What did they always say back in the day? They say some people went to school, but the school didn't go through them, right? You don't want to be that one, yeah? Do you?
Anyway, my only consolation will be the fact that I'm gonna be a year older tomorrow.
Where's the bell? Give it to Amma. Amma, happy birthday in advance.
Thank you,
wonder.
No wonder.
The tip of your nose is shining.
Come on, don't say that. Don't say that.
Y'all need to head out there across social media and see Amma a face tip of a nose. It is shining brightly. Now she's trying to look for something to clean it off. But come on, you don't clean stuff that is nature off.
You guys don't want to see me. You don't want to see what I look like this morning. I actually look a mess.
No, come on. You don't look a mess. You don't look a mess. You don't look a mess. Didn't you hear an alarm? An alarm alert? You did. Come on, you don't look a mess. Come on. It's a Monday, the 23rd day in the month of December 2024. 4 minutes gone past the hour of 7 on the AM side. And yes, you have found Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, where we give you an audio, visual, radio experience that you can count on anytime, any day. As we welcome you to a brand new day, of course, the first day of the work week, being a Monday right there, it is also very pertinent for us to greet you in a way that we know how to, right? I'd say Olodudu, I would say Nakwana, I would say Otutuoma, Ekaro, Agife. In my dialect, it would be Amesiere, and Omoefe would also ring it as a bell in her dialect. Come on, look alive, look sharp now, look alive. What kind of kwashoko speaking?
Memorial Kale.
I'm gonna that one now. Come on, yeah. That's it. All right. Okay. The spirit of a season is here. The Yuletide that we've been talking about and everything. How many days to go now? We're talking 2 days to go. Aren't you feeling it? Oh, look, I know that we are not feeling it on the roadways. It seems as though the street is stricken with lack of celebration and all of that. But I know that individually in your homes, you're doing one or two things together. And big ups to each and every one of you who are trying your best, even if you're not Gary Sok, you're still trying doing something and at least making yourself happy. They used to say happy yourself. So happy yourself, because if you don't, no other person would happy you for you, right?
Realistically, Gary has even become a luxury, honestly.
It is a lot. Well,
a lot is going on at the moment.
You're right, though. You're right, Omoife. But then
we're just breathing, that's just about it. We wake up every day, and if you see the air to breathe, you thank God.
I give you oxygen, Omoife. Receive it. Breathe some more. Let the poor breathe. My name is Uduak Daniel.
And I am Omoife Piso Semero. It feels good to be in the studios today after a long weekend. And I think it's just okay to say a very big thank you to the listener listeners, as it were.
Yeah.
Those of you who actually came here in your numbers last week.
You
Friday
should get the bell ringing now. Honestly,
celebrate with us.
We
had the maiden edition of the Eagles FM's Hangout last week Friday, and we actually had an amazing time.
It was an amazing experience right there. We got the listener coming to give 1 or 2 cents, and of course, it was so amazing.
The reviews were actually mind blowing.
I tell you the truth.
And getting to see some of these listeners in person, I'm humbled, honestly. Okay, humbled is the right word now. But yeah, let's get you into some things that you ought to know this morning. It is very important for us, to elevate you with 23rd day in the month of December 2024, right? You should know. Well, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has warned politicians against linking stampedes that occurred during food distributions in Oyo, Anambra, and Abuja to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's economic reforms. He said the tragedies underscored the importance of ensuring proper crowd management during such charitable activities, especially in the festive season. I mean, one was going to kind of like link the sad situation, to the economic reforms. Because whether we like it or not, it's just a pointer to the fact that there is indeed hunger, in the land. Whilst it's okay for you to have, crowd control measures in place, especially when you want to exercise kind gestures like this, if people were really doing well, respectively, do you think people would want to rush a bag of rice or even a model of rice, as it were?
Nobody would want to do that, fan. It goes back to showing us the saddening reality as we find it, in the society today, right? And it goes back to the place of how many people are empowered, how many people are even opportuned to partake of that empowerment. We keep hearing loans here and there, CBN giving loans and all of that, but when you go back to the prerequisite of obtaining that loan, you'll know that this one, Ogidi gone. Giddy. Right. But let's let you know that the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has criticized the proposed 2025 budget, saying it is inadequate to address Nigeria's structural challenges. In a statement on Sunday, Atiku noted that the 48 trillion naira budget, with a revenue forecast of 35 trillion naira and a deficit exceeding 13 trillion naira, represents a continuation of business as usual fiscal practices. Wow, he already gave it a term. By the APC-led administration. Well, that's what Atiku says right there. Entitled to his opinions, you say.
Business as usual.
Business as usual.
Well, in the same vein, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project SERAP on Sunday urged the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and the Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas to cut the proposed budget of 9.4 billion naira on travels, refreshments and meals and foodstuff, and also catering materials for the presidency, and the proposed 344.85 billion naira for the lawmakers, and to use the savings to address the budget deficit. So we are looking at 9.4 billion naira on travels, refreshment, foodstuff and catering materials. What foodstuff are we talking about, by the way?
How many are we in Nigeria again?
Over 200 million?
250 or over 200, let's just say 230, right? 30 million.
We should be more than 230.
We might be more
anyway, January is around the corner, so we're waiting for NPC to do
hopefully,
with the population census.
Hoping it's not going to go into audio anymore. But anyways, let's also get you to know that the federal government will today, being Monday, arraign 5 suspected terrorists linked to the notorious terrorist kingpin Bello Turji, I keep hearing his name again, at the Federal High Court in Abuja. In the charges marked FHC ABJ CR 633-2024 filed before Justice Emeka Nwite, the federal government alleged, among others, that the suspects imported a military gun truck worth 28.5 million naira from Libya. All right.
So how did this truck, how did it actually make its way into the country?
Well, I never know.
Shouldn't we also question the process, the procedure, as to how this military gun truck made its way into the country?
And that also makes me want to think, are we in a state of hopelessness?
No, it's a renewed hope and restoration, don't forget. So
that's the budget.
It's really not hopelessness.
Well,
we'll leave it there. The Nigeria Police Force on Sunday dismissed allegations made by Amnesty International in its report titled Bloody August, Nigeria Government Violent Crackdown on #End Bad Governance Protest, describing the claims as false, misleading, and damaging to the image of the force.
Okay, all right. Let's just move away from that because I've got a lot to say, but I'll just let it go. Now, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has said that petrol is going to sell at 935 naira to $1 per liter beginning from Monday today, based on the latest arrangements with the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. Okay, give it. What's that?
I think that would do.
That's just one jing of the bell.
So what's the difference really? 935 naira.
We keep removing 20 naira, 10 naira, stuff like that. But come on, if there's progress, it's progress, man. At least it's better than 1,000 naira to a liter.
Well, isn't this progress insignificant?
Well, you might say it's insignificant. Imagine that you're being paid 20 naira by 5,000
You think that is going to impact the transportation cost as we've recorded in recent times? Was it not last week I actually stated that a commercial bus driver said that transport from Abuja to Akwa Ibom is now 53 at the time.
Yeah.
So I won't be surprised if it's now 55
to Lagos is 50
naira. You can imagine that.
I don't want to bring my pain on here, but let's just let it go.
No, I think I've got truckload of pains, to bring on here this morning.
I get that. I'll calm you down. Don't worry. On my face, okay?
All right, 5 years after its suspended mineral exploration in Zamfara State, the federal government yesterday announced the lifting of the ban on mining activities in the northwest state. Solid Minerals Development Minister Dele Alake, who dropped the hint in Abuja yesterday, said the move was made following significant improvement on the security situation in the state. All
right, feels good. Now, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have thwarted an attempt by an ex-convict, Olarinwaju Akorede, to smuggle a consignment of Rohypnol to South Africa via the export shed at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. Now, a statement by the agency spokesperson, Femi Babafemi, on Sunday said the consignment was hidden in a cargo containing Gary shoes, men's singlets, and other items. My friend, don't give me that look.
Containing Gary.
Don't give me that look. The same commodity that we just mentioned a while ago.
Gary.
That's what this consignment is carrying now to South Africa.
Okay. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, on Sunday paid an unscheduled visit to Ilorin in view of the death of a man reportedly tortured to death by the police. A 35-year-old Jimo Abdul Kadri was said to have been tortured to death by some policemen at the Kwara Command late Friday.
Okay, but let me show it to you again. What was it the Nigeria Police Force had said about what Amnesty International's reports titled Bloody August? They said
those claims
it's false.
False, misleading, and damaging to the image of the force.
We'll leave it there. But finally, though, let's also let you in on the fact that operatives of the Nigerian Navy ship NNS Beecroft have intercepted 19 stowaways attempting to illegally migrate to Europe abroad 2 weeks aboard two vessels, which were docked at the port of Lagos, Apapa Quay, identified as, quite a number of MT KRITI Ruby and MCC Yambu. Now, the operation, the Navy said, was part of its efforts to combat maritime criminal activities and support the presidential initiative to enhance the blue economy. Right? Well, if that's if that's going on in terms of the Navy right there, what can we say? Right? It means we are cleaning off our waterways, aren't we? Doing that, yeah, cleaning up the waterways.
But let me ask
you, and maybe ensuring a better blue economy. Yeah, that's what we say.
The waters, are they blue in color?
In fact, some who have indeed seen the pain that has been going on and saying that, well, all of these bloods that are being shed, as the former one-time president, president's wife, Patience Jonathan would say, the bloods you are sharing and all of that is washing into the waterways. I don't think the color would be blue anymore. I'm just saying. Right I'm just saying, though. But hey, don't come for me. But anyways, that is what it is for the things that we ought for you to know. But let us get into the front page of Nigerian newspapers now. We've got a couple of dailies staring at us, and we're staring right back. We've got the Vanguard newspaper, we've got the Guardian newspaper, we've got the Daily Trust newspaper, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, the Punch newspaper. All of these newspapers is what we've got for you right about now. Well, let's begin with this one already.
All right, we're starting off with the Vanguard newspaper, and on the front page, 2024 in review, how inflation, FX reforms, recapitalization, others shaped banking. You find that big story on page 14 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
All right, page 14 of the Vanguard newspaper, and then we take you to page 12, still with the Vanguard newspaper. Edo Akwa Ibom government mourn as ex-defense minister General Abe dies at 75.
Right, and then 2025 budget bereft of fiscal discipline. Atiku talking there. That's on page 9.
All right, so from page 9 now, let's get on to the crux of the matter and possibly what it is that we'll be talking about at 9 a.m. this morning.
Absolutely.
Page 5, Abuja Stampede is the kicker. Crowd overwhelming. We were swept away. Survivors are saying that one right there. Well, we'll look into the crux of it at the 9 o'clock hour. You don't want to miss that one. Let's get you to page 23 now.
All right, on page 23, federal government lifts ban on mining activities in Zamfara.
Okay, and then page 27 now, counting the gains of Tinubu's economic renewal by more. Somebody's saying something. And counting the gains. Well, let's just go above the Vanguard newspaper, banner now. And see for ourselves what's there.
All right, moving on to page 12.
Yep.
Edo, that is the kicker. Suspended local government chairman resumed today. Well, it appears the governor actually bowed to pressure.
So the pressure right there. But let's get you to page 9. Don't worry, you won't be bowing to pressure for page 9. Federal government to review upward 15 trillion naira Lagos-Calabar coastal highway. We're still talking that.
And then tax reform bills. Why we insist on withdrawal. Ndume talking there, and that's on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper.
That's right. Away from the Vanguard newspaper now, let's bring you the Guardian newspaper as we see the big story. Distrust others slow financial inclusion amid 4.3 trillion naira outside banks. Page 6 carries that story. It's got an outline of some very vital information that you might as well want to consider as you go into that very headline.
But is distrust really the reason why people don't have bank accounts?
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe we should run a vox pop on that, right?
I mean, we're dealing with trust deficit when it comes to, government policies. Yeah. And then we also have that in the banking sector.
Distrust. I mean, it may not be far from
even in relationships, we have distrust.
In everything. I think distrust is really playing a serious role now, because even the banking system or the banking sector, they also have to do with communication, interaction, relationships. So, yeah, anything that has all of that, you might as well find distrust in it.
All right, moving on to page 18. 18,000 pensioners yet to receive benefits as PENCOM lament low funds.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's take you to page 7 now. Student loan to be restricted to high demand courses. Wow.
Oh. I'm actually feeling exhausted.
I don't know. It's quite depressing, and you listening right there, you really don't know how it feels for us when we are, throwing all of these out and reading.
Sometimes we try to, keep hope alive, be cheerful, and sometimes we smile, we laugh, not because these things are funny,
right,
but because we don't want you to feel, too sad.
That's right.
Especially when you call in to share your thought. But come on, we're humans.
That's right. We're trying to take a burden on our shoulders.
I'm actually on that part of life.
But honestly, I'll be here to try and brighten her up. But I mean, restricted to high demand courses? Then just crap the other courses that are not high demand.
And just last week Friday, while I was discussing the Japa syndrome with
is it that would be Japa syndrome. We're having a conversation with Dr.
Austin Maho,
yes,
right? That's right. We talked about some of the initiatives introduced already by this administration, and one amongst them is the student loan. We try to justify, or try to hold forth. I mean, no pun intended, for the government. I'm not really holding forth, but playing the devil's advocate because of, Dr. Austin Maho's, submission with regards to why youth, they keep, seeking greener pastures outside the country. But anywho, moving on to page 2, Atiku criticizes 2025 budget, warns of deepening economic challenges.
Okay, now let's take you to page 6 now. Stampede debts trigger political blame game as federal government defends Tinubu's reforms.
Of course, we're going to be doing some sort of comparative analysis at the 9 o'clock hour. So we urge you to stay on this dial, really. It promises to be, insightful, the conversation we're going to be having with regards to, the stampedes in recent times. Because this is not the first time this is actually happening. So when you see opposition, members coming to lambast or tongue lash, the present administration under President Bola Tinubu, that is perhaps the reason why the APC now is also, lashing back at the opposition that do not link this to
the economic reforms
the economic
that are
reforms.
working, by the way. Right.
Yudi, moving on to page 3, defections from Labour Party won't stop. Obi may dump party, says Okukbe.
All right, let's take you now to this one right here. North, not parasitic. Governance needs prudence, says Ndume. All right, page 4 is carrying that story right there. Let's take you to yet another.
I actually wanted to ask you if really the North is parasitic, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll leave the listener out there to chew on that.
Yeah.
Experts warns against use of urine, breast milk to treat eye defects. Wow. That's on page 5.
For real?
I recall very clearly, but have you observed that this year there was no Apollo or pink eye, as it were?
On my face.
We really did you see anyone with?
I never saw anybody having.
I haven't seen very funny memes and comments across social media that people's eyes have actually seen shege this year, and
right?
That's
why
so Apollo not even.
Apollo has no space, to give them shege. I mean, all of the issues that we are facing and all of that, isn't it enough Apollo already?
But did your eyes see shege this year?
My sister, let's not go there. But let's leave it there, though. Page 3 right now. Delayed salaries hampered Yuletide for 70,000 federal civil servants, right?
All right, on page 4, Ipman says members will sell fuel at 935 naira per litre from today.
All right, to page 27, being the last one with the Guardian newspaper now, federal government lifts ban on mineral exploration in Zamfara. All right, let's take you to the Daily Trust newspaper right now and start off with this one.
All right, stampedes kill 213 Nigerians in 11 years. And right on the front page of the Daily Trust, you see a breakdown of how these events actually have occurred over the years, dating from February to March, April, December, and, well, it's right there. It's
just right there. All right, let's take you now to page 14. Federal government lifts ban on mining exploration activities in Zamfara 5 years after.
But do you think that's going to be a step in the right direction?
Well, it's a beginning. May not be a step in the right direction, may not be all of the answers, but it's a beginning.
Because we've seen the attendant, consequences or implication of, mining exploration in that state, and how it has maybe indirectly, led to the loss of lives, and property, especially looking at insinuations or speculations or concerns from some quarters that indeed there is so much to tap from that state, and that's the reason why there is some sort of unrest. But
anyways, by the way, though, but then again, to think that we had a president who attended a World Economic Summit sometimes this year, and he made it clear. He said one of the sponsors of terrorism in the country was illegal mining. That's something that not any other president have ever said at any point. And Nigerians gave him a thumbs up because this was something that was going on a low key underneath. It was like a munu going on somewhere, and nobody had the guts to say that. And the president said that in a World Economic Summit, and now we're seeing that
the ban has been lifted.
The ban has been lifted.
Maybe that way Zamfara could also contribute its quota.
Right, maybe especially in line with the tax reform bills that is still in the pipeline.
Indeed,
still in the works.
The reforms are working.
Okay, let's go.
Slowly but surely, we'll get there.
I said it already. It's really impacting you positively. I like that.
Moving on to page 5, Yuletide, the airfares skyrocket amidst operators' capacity crunch. Is that even news?
Right.
But you find that on page 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
Taking you to page 11 now. Despite petrol price cut, NNPCL stations others sell above 1,000 naira to a litre.
You see why I had to ring the bell the way I did the other time?
Well, you get that.
Okay.
I give it to you.
All right.
All right, then we'll just give you this last one now.
All right. 2025 budget scrapped. Niger Delta Sports Ministries get 2.3 trillion naira. Two riders underneath that headline. The first one says it's embarrassing, and this statement is credited to CISLAC. And the second one says, appropriation bill lacks fiscal discipline. Article talking there. All of that on page 4.
That's right.
Of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
Away from the Daily Trust, let's also keep you updated with the fact that this is Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, where we get to give you an audio-visual radio experience that you can count on anytime in the day. Follow us across social media platforms right there at Eagles FM Abuja. And on YouTube, subscribe. It is very important for you to do so as a family member so we can soar together, right? Now, we are with the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, the big stories now. Tinubu's reforms not responsible for stampedes. Federal government tackles PDP, others. Page 3 carries the story. It's got quite a number of writers now. The first one, as PDP blames Tinubu. Second one, it's a reflection of hunger in the land. Obi saying Omokri calls out Obi. Well, there's always a bickering between Omokri and Obi now. Falana heads to court as 105 killed in palliative stampedes in 32 months. Wow. Safeguarding children in crowded gatherings, not negotiable. PAN is saying that one now. Buhari can, others mourn. States roll out crowd control measures. All right, talk about us being reactive. Most of the time, we're always very reactive. But anyways, let's get to another one now.
All right, moving on to page 6. Rail sector growth. Federal government disbursed 16.1 billion naira to 22 manufacturers.
All right.
That statement is credited to Wale Edun.
Wale Edun, right. Okay, let's take you to page 26 now. Add 20 to 6, you get 26 in case you didn't know your maths, right? NDLEA arrests businessman with 256 wraps of cocaine at Kano Airport.
I mean, people are moving about with chickens and turkey and bags of rice.
Ram
moving about with
goats
cocaine
and stuff.
Come on, is that food?
I don't get it.
Police fault Amnesty International on hashtag End Bad Governance report. That's on page 27.
To page 8 now. Federal government lifts ban on mineral exploration in Zamfara.
And then federal government's 2025 budget lacks capacity to address Nigeria's challenges. Article talking there. You'll find that one on page 4.
And then to page 26 again, looking popular, you might say. Alleged death by torture. That's the kicker. IGP visits family, directs FCID to take over case. Ilorin Emir demands thorough probe.
And talking about some good news, fuel to sell at 935 naira per litre from today, Ipman says. Details on page 6.
Did I just hear a Nigerian say, until I see it happen? Because we saw the other part where they said, despite all of these, NNPCL stations still selling above 1,000 naira to a litre. But we'll just give it to you. This one is going to be the last one from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Stables, forex crisis, freight charges, frustrating federal government's food import waiver policy. Experts are saying that one, and page 18 carries that story.
Now let's take a look at the last but not the least national daily for this morning. The Punch, yes, with a punch. And the big news story there, written in red and black on a white spread, it says stampede death. State least tough conditions for palliative distribution. And right underneath it says organizers must secure permit and provide medical team, ambulances, security, others, insist governors.
That's
right.
On
page 2.
Page 2 carries that story. Now let's take you to page 8. Police deny killing hunger protesters, demand amnesty's apology.
Sorry,
it's okay. Sorry.
And I'm moving on to page 31. Government approves recruitment, I beg your pardon, of 3,927 customs officers. That's on page 31.
That's right. To page 26 now. Federal government's 50% transport reduction scheme may begin on Tuesday.
May begin?
May begin. It's not short.
On Tuesday, that's tomorrow. But why do we have to wait till, Christmas is 2 days away, and then the 50% transport reductions may start tomorrow?
Because there might be a stampede. I'm just saying, no, there's no stampede. I'm just saying.
Can we take a break off work? I'm sure the management is listening right now. I would like to take a look at what would be obtainable at different train stations.
That's right.
Honestly, so we can bring you first-hand information.
That's right.
Because we pray we don't have cases of stampede.
That's right. That's right. We don't want that to happen and all of that. But you know how it goes whenever there's cuts like this and all of that. You know how it happens, right?
All right. Why flees after setting Ogun Cup ablaze during disputes?
Ew.
Details on pages 4 and 5.
Right. Pages 4 and 5 carries that a very, very Crazy story. But let's take you to page 9 now. Tinubu repeating Buhari's borrowing mistakes. Atiku is saying that right there.
All right. And then why governors demanded further talks on tax bills. Makinde talking there. Right. You find that one on page 9.
That's right. Just above the Punch newspaper banner now. Travelers battle unending price hikes ahead of Christmas. Little wonder the 50% price cuts on transportation. I get that.
May start tomorrow.
Tomorrow. That's right.
Petrol to sell 935 naira per litre from today. Ipman talking there, and you find that on page 31.
That's right. And the last one that we're bringing to your audiovisual consciousness this morning would be how terrorists smuggled Libya gun truck into Zamfara federal government. We always know how to tell the house, after it has happened. So we now come and describe it. It seems like that's something we're very good at on Moife, don't you think?
Well,
always good.
I mean, we've heard Matawale, coming out to say that even the Lakurawa terrorists, they've been given a run for their money, so they've sent them back to where they came from. When they say back to the sender, so they are back to where they came from.
That's right.
That's what Bello Matawale is saying. But
we just hope that we don't sing a different song later, though. But yeah, this is where we would draw the curtain for the front pages, but then welcome you aboard, to adding your 2 cents to which of these headlines jumps at you, pops at you, tickles your fancy, or begs for your reaction. But you must do that with sanity. You must do that in the most civil and responsible way. We'll just go on a recess right now. When we come back, of course, we'll be hearing from you, succinctly as you give us your 2 cents. Don't go away.
Get the desired clients for your business and service and get your phones buzzing. From the 1st of September to the 31st of December, you can advertise and reach a large audience with the Eagles FM Ember Months package. Advertise on any of our platforms and get a whopping 30% discount. That's right, 30% discount. For more information, please call 080-5919-8658. 080-5919-8658 or 081-5791-7278. 081-5791-7278. The Eagles FM 102.3 FM Ember package is a sure way to getting a wider clientele for your business and service.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable. Eagles 102.3.
Back from recess now, 34 minutes gone past the hour of 7 on the AM side. This is the Pages, you like to call it, the newspaper review segment, whatever it is, the nomenclature. The idea is the very practice in it, right? And what we do is look into the front pages and now also have you add your voice loudly and clearly, in the arena of the pages, right? Let's give you the numbers already.
All right, you can reach us on 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 090-9705-4450.
That's right. And don't forget that you can also be watching us live right now as we speak, all right, through your speakers at Eagles FM Abuja across social media platforms, as you know it. Talk about Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube, TikTok. We are there. Hello and good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Rudy. Good morning to you, Moses. Compliments.
Moses
Compliments.
This morning. Your voice was so down this morning. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Good morning, Moses.
Some days are like that.
I think the team of the Eagle FM happy birthday in advance.
Oh,
thank you.
Look at that.
Thank you, Moses.
Right. Rejoice and be happy.
That's right.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I want to speak on this subject matter on the petroleum that was like the price down to 935. I believe that the justice should also go down to the grassroots, because sometimes when we hear the cut down like this, you discover that this is filling station before the announcement, when there is an increase, the pump price will be changed immediately to increase. But when it comes to the sliding down of the price, if they won't follow order. That is the Nigerian mentality that wants to help us. You should also go down to the price cost that was alluded to some of the high cost of price in this country. So they should also follow suit. Then another point again, suspect of the importation of arms to the terrorists. They were here before the court. I think justice must be done, because this is what the Nigerians have been waiting for. They see these people being persecuted. Then finally, palliative stampede. Well, I think this is an evidence to tell the government that the hardship is so strong. If not, what kind of palliative will make massive stampedes like this? Nigerians are hungry. This is an evidence. Don't be in your comfort zone to think that everybody is right. So everybody is perfect. Thank you, and God bless. I wish you happy Christmas and New Year.
That's right. Thank you, Moses. I appreciate that one from you right there. Giving some words of encouragement right there. And that feels good. Well, you can also reach us at 0907 353 0044.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, I'm Barista Hassan.
Barista
Hassan.
Where you calling from?
Omolo.
Yeah.
I'm calling from Airport Road.
Okay.
All right.
Omolowo. All right. Barista Hassan, it is your place this Christmas. Olowo, right? Okay, feels good.
Omolowo.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Barista. Go ahead.
Yes, massive parties and condolence go to the victims of the stampede.
Right.
You know, in Nigeria, recent stampede in Nigeria, Southwest, Anambra, and Abuja. Yes. You see, let me say this, and that is truth. Nigerians have always been desperate to access free food and other items because of the high poverty level in the country. Nigeria is reputed to be the poverty capital of the world. So this is not the first time, but though it has deteriorated, it has worsened. We have to take viable steps to solve the poverty problem in Nigeria through viable and wise policy decisions and investment drives. We should also ensure that the security agencies are fully involved in the distribution of palliatives and essential items in order to avoid and prevent stampedes and preventable and avoidable deaths. I think the state government are taking very viable steps. The provision of medical facilities, you know, the question of security agencies and all that. We should learn from our mishaps and unfortunate events in the country, and I know it can be done. Right. God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria right there. Barrister, thank you so much. I appreciate Barrister Aston right there giving us 2 cents. Don't forget that there is quite a number of or a plethora of numbers that you can choose from, right? To, you know, engage, right, with whichever the headlines you find worthy of your voice. 0908-766-8888 is yet another number you can call, but let's go take this one now. Hello and good morning.
Barrister.
Obasanjo, feels good, Obasanjo. Good morning.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning, my sister.
Good morning, Obasanjo.
Talk to us, Obasanjo. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling you from Amali, Niger State.
Right.
When plenty things. Hey, I'm Barrister. Hunger in the land, you know it is real. It's everywhere, not in the town. It's everywhere. Everybody is feeling it. The heat is burning in every man's or woman's door. If you have it, some people will call. They will tell us we were lying, and every day the government repeating itself. Sir, free buses. If you say subsidy era has gone, why are you giving free buses? That English. Why do you give free buses to come on easier? That to say subsidy is good in every nation. Must you bring out the buses to ease everybody? This is what you would do. That oil subsidy that you have removed, please bring it back.
Okay.
Don't ease anything to anybody. If you say it's very good, don't easier everything to anybody. And for the stampede, people die in Oyo, Abuja, Anambra. Sir, it's some of these things. I believe Satan has so been fair to us. Why? Because if you see Yahoo, if you say it's the handwork of devil. No, devil has made you to have millions of naira, and the government that practices democracy, practices the rule of law, cannot give you those things. How do you call that government? How do you call that government? That people are living in the pain, people are crying day in, day out, but you cannot easier anything. You only giving people the pain every day. Okay. And the security, those that bring some of the machine guns to Zamfara, how did they get it? How did they get it to bring it back to Zamfara? Government, tell the people the right things to do.
Okay.
Lastly, you can only hate Atiku Abubakar, but you cannot hate what he like. He remains Donald Trump in Nigeria, whether you like it or not.
Okay,
why? Because we cannot keep borrowing when we have said we have been making progress. This is what Buhari did, and this is the same thing that Tinubu is doing, giving Nigeria pain.
All right, Obasanjo, time is
so
not on our side right there, but thank you so much right there. Appreciate that. Well, anyways, the discourse is still ongoing. It is called The Pages on Here. You call it the newspaper review, and you are correct. Whatever name you choose, it is the bargain that we practice that matters.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, Abdul.
My name is Abdul, calling from Suleja, Niger State.
That's right, Abdul. Welcome aboard.
I'm happy this morning to hear that the fuel price has reduced.
That's right.
If you listen to me very well in this our platform, I always talk about fuel. Because I believe that if the fuel cheap in the market, other food items will be cheap in the market. We want food to cheap in the market, UD. You can see this stampede. It's poverty. If you can afford it, will you go there? You cannot go there and start struggling. They are going there because they cannot afford the money to buy it in the market. That is why. My condolences to those people that died in the stampede. You see, and another thing I'm seeing, UD, those people that are sharing this palliative, I think they should look for another means in sharing it. There's a way you can share it that there will be no problem. Me that I'm talking to you here now yesterday, I'm one of the beneficiaries of palliative yesterday. I was not even around. When I came, they say, okay, this is your own. This is the palliative they share. There is a way they can share it so that there will be no stampede.
Right.
You understand me, Yudi?
Yes, please.
All this thing is poverty, just like I'm saying. It's poverty.
Okay.
So the government should do something about it. And you see this fuel reduction, I believe the filling station, they will not sell it. Unless if there is enforcement, I'm telling you, UD. Because they are not happy for this fuel coming down. I cannot tell you lie. There must be an enforcement before this filling station will start selling this fuel. UD, thank you very much.
Thank you so
God
much.
God bless Nigeria.
That's right.
God bless Igwe FM. Bye.
Bye, Abdul.
Well, there's been a question of integrity in terms of, data collation in Nigeria, because perhaps if we actually had accurate data, the needs of people will, be well catered to. Without some sort of hassle or stress at the end of the day.
True.
That is actually one benefit of conducting the population census as it went due. But again, our fingers are crossed to see how things would actually unfold come next year.
That's right. Well, let's take this time out now and go see, the messages via WhatsApp. But first of all, we just went on the Facebook page, live stream as we are streaming right there. You can join us too and be a part of this one. We'll see quite a number of messages. King K sending a message right there. Omoife, you should do the pledge.
No, I think you should read
Okay, so King Kennedy is saying, watching live from Joss. Oh, feels good. Thank you, King K. All the way from Joss. It says, my sister, you better smile. Oh. You see now? I mean, of course, tomorrow, it makes a lot of sense. Tomorrow is your birthday, so that feels good. A lot has really happened, but we have to celebrate, especially tomorrow being your day. Look at that, though. Thank you, King K. That solidarity.
Thank you, Kennedy.
It says, I can't wait to celebrate you tomorrow.
Ooh,
look at that.
Let me ring the bell.
I thought you were not. What kind of bell ringing is that?
Thank you, Kennedy.
Thank you so much, King K. Right, we see this one coming from Ray Hands.
Where he says, good morning, Eagles FM.
Good morning to you
the
too.
Season, guys.
Right,
watching you live from Galadima.
Feels good. Thank you.
Thank
you so much. Appreciate. And then we see this one right here.
Also, Francis Namani watching live from Amagunze in Enugu State. He says, good morning, my people in the studio.
Good morning to you too.
The incessant cases of stampede deaths being recorded during the sharing of palliatives have shown the height of poverty, hunger, and hardships in the country. Government must act fast to bring a lasting solutions towards this direction, which way Nigeria. May God help us.
May God
Thank
help
you so
us.
much, Francis.
That's right, Solomon Language. We also appreciate you right there. You're saying good morning, my family, and I'm sure you're messaging that from Anagada. Feels good. Thank you.
Thank you, Language.
Let's now get into the WhatsApp portal now, as we see quite a number. We see this one coming from Solomon Language again. Okay, Happy New Week. Very, very observant, Solomon Language. We appreciate you for that one too. Again, right.
All right. This one from Ongenemano Austin Ado says, good morning, Omoefe and Udwa.
Good morning to you.
You are not far from the truth, Omoefe, that we are only breathing.
Right.
The rate of death orchestrated by stampede resulting from people scrambling for food items is worrisome. This is a clear indication of how worse the hunger and poverty in the land is. Things are not getting better, but Tinubu and his men continue telling those who care to listen that the economic reforms of the government are working. Who dash monkey banana? Ongenemano Austin from Adona, Sarawak State. Thank you so much for that message.
Honestly, Ongenemano right there putting his thoughts out. But let's see from Abbas reporting from Duse now.
A very lengthy
yes,
message.
Abbas always. But anyway, says good morning, sir and madam. Good morning to you. Compliments of the season. The same right back at you right there. On the stampede, he says, I think the blame should go to all opposition party and some Nigerians who criticize President Tinubu's 8,000 naira palliative to vulnerable Nigerians. They claim Nigerians don't need the money. Oh, the money is too small. What are we seeing today? People losing their lives for just 5,000 naira. Let us, as people, learn how to criticize government's policy and let our opposition parties be objective with their criticisms. Henceforth, all forms of direct sharing of palliatives should be stopped. Therefore, I want to plead with President Tinubu, if he can, he should please reintroduce that policy back, because there are some Nigerians like me who truly need this money to subsidize our lives. May the soul of the victims who have lost their lives rest with our Lord, he says. Abbas reporting from Dusai.
You know, he says something that people actually losing their lives for just 5,000 naira. So 5,000 naira is not just 5,000 naira as we speak in the country. When was the last time you went to the market? And then in some places, it wasn't just monies, right? Even bags of rice. That's you know how much a bag of rice, cost at the moment. So people would really want to go all out, because rice is obviously a luxury right now.
Sure.
So
even beans, you don't even want to go there.
How about onions? 250 naira per bag.
250,000.
250. Did I say 250 naira? You must forgive me. 250,000 naira.
That's right, per bag. But let's go see this message, though.
All right. This one says, my name is Abdul Rauf, calling from Suleja, Niger State. Good morning, UD.
Good morning to you.
Omoefe.
Good morning to you, Abdul
The
Rauf.
issue of subsidized train service simply opens up an issue for the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, build train lines throughout the country for easy navigation from any point in the states of the federation to another. If this is done, it will be a great service delivery and dividend of democracy to citizens, as it will ameliorate transportation cost to the people. Happy birthday in advance, my dear Efe. Oh, well done, Eagles FM, for this great service you are rendering to the nation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abdul Rauf.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, we see this one right here coming from Comrade Ulo Basi, all the way from Buhari right there in Abuja. All right, good morning to you guys on the cockpit. Albon with Daniel and Lady Omoefe. Peace. All right, God bless your day, he says. God bless your day too. That's all right, it says, while we blame the stampedes that led to loss of lives in Ibadan, Abuja, and Okija on economic hardships orchestrated by Tinubu's government, one should not lose sight on the attitude and approach of average Nigerians to free things. That's to say, free things must be consumed at all cost. Most times, these avoidable tragedies born out of greed and disorderliness amongst the people. Please, we should always try to cultivate the habit of self-respect whenever and wherever free things are made available, because there are strings attached to some of them. But this is not to exonerate Tinubu's administration in this unfortunate incident. May the souls of the deceased rest in peace, he says. In addition, it's sheer hypocrisy for PENCOM to have complained of low fund for being the reason why retirees have not been paid for close to 2 years now. If one may ask, what about huge return on investment they've been declaring? May God Almighty save us from ourselves. He says, Comrade Olubasi, right there.
Thank you for that message.
Right. Let's get on to the voice notes now very quickly and bring you up to speed, with them right here and right now. See a couple of them right there. Let's start with this one right now.
Good morning, gentle Yudi. Good morning, Omoefe.
Good morning.
I want to go straight to the point.
Right.
I pity those that lost their family. I commiserate with those that lost their family during sharing of palliative in Oyo and the other state. Mm-hmm. You see, it is very, very or highly insignificant for Nigerian government to come out and share palliative as a developing country. Nigeria is bigger than a country that you come and share palliative. Do what will ameliorate the suffering of masses. That is what we want. And if they continue like this, believe me, we will pray to God Almighty, to give us the power to vote them out 2027, because this is not our plan. All the masses are disappointed. Mm-hmm. Why will you go and share palliative thinking Nigerians are beggars? Masses are beggars. Let me throw this food on the floor for them to pick just like a chicken. Come and take. If you die on your own, it's very wrong. Why can't you do what will make the citizens be happy? When the price of oil is subsidized, it's down to some extent now, everything will come, everything will normalize. You are just sharing palliatives, thinking is the only way out. A Minister of Information is saying they should not relate the incident to federal government. In which of the government did the incident occur? Is it the past government or present government? Let them take correction. That is what we want. Moody, I wish you a very pleasant and nice Christmas in advance.
You too, right? You overshot right there. Unisa D'Anthony Ibrahim, all the way from Abaji. Please, Unisa, always include your name, right? As we would not be doing this again, right?
Well, maybe a reason why the federal government think, they shouldn't be linked to this distribution, unfortunate, tragedy is the fact that these distributions were private sector driven. Right, so maybe if they were driven by the public or government, then maybe there should have been proper crowd control measures, as it were, in place to forestall cases like this.
Well, there's so much to say, Omoefe, with regards to that. But yeah, I'll leave mine for the 9 o'clock hour. Let's go take this one now.
Good morning, Nigeria. My name is Daniel from Kurudu. Right. Honestly, my heart is heavy. I feel pain. Just imagine what is happening in this country. Look at hundreds of people who are dying because of food, and our leaders are not doing anything about it. You see, right from time I was questioning about this palliative. A government that wants growth will not give palliative; they will give a neighbor environment. Everything is not just working in this country, and we can all testify to it. And my annoyance is PDP. PDP is not giving a healthy opposition. You see, if you look critically, it's like APC were just trying to get power; they were not ready for leadership. So this is an opportunity for PDP and other political parties to hold this government accountable. Peter Obi are just speaking as individuals. They have tried, but opposition party need to keep these leaders in toes. They are too weak, very weak. May God save us. May God provide for us. People are dying of starvation. Look at the amount the federal government budgeted for feeding in Presidential Villa. People that have money to feed themselves, we are still feeding them. May God help us. Thank you, and God bless Nigeria.
All right. Thank you so much right there. Let's go hear it from Selassie now.
Good morning, Omoefe. Good morning, Udwak Daniel, the barrister, the man with the golden voice.
That's right.
Obasanjo, I greet you. I greet the listeners and callers of this great radio station. Mr. Bright, I greet you. My heart go to the people that lost their life from Oyo, Abuja, Anambra, in Okija. My heart goes to the people that lost their beloved one.
Right.
Yes, just like what the last caller said. If you have, you won't go out to look for palliative. Mm-hmm. If truly you have, what will you go out for? Most of these people are going there because they don't have. May Almighty God grant may their soul rest in peace. Right. Then come to the issue of this fuel. I want to commend the government. I pray that the fuel price will keep dropping down. Somebody will say, it's the market forces. It's the free market. No, government have power. After God, then the government. No. After God, na government. In Libya, how much is fuel? We that we call ourselves the giant of Africa. That our refinery, they even promise that in this radio station, I hear that by December, Kaduna refinery will start work. Have Kaduna refinery start working? They must put our refineries in orders. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Selassie.
Thank you, Selassie.
Selassie, you really gave us a bit of a smile right there. But yeah, some points you made right there. All right, so let's see. I mean, I know we might be overshooting now, but we need to carry everybody along. And let's go take this one as quickly as we can.
All right, this is from who now?
All right,
Praise James Akpabio. He says, good morning, Mr. UD, and compliments of the season to the Queen in the house.
That's right.
My name is Praise James Akpabio, messaging from Gariki to Abuja.
Right.
My brother, I wonder when we will stop blame games in this country. We are so quick and in a rush to shift blames on the government until we begin to hold people accountable for negligence and avoidable errors that result to loss of lives and properties. Stampede in church that have led to loss of innocent lives without considering the necessary measures the church failed to put in place to even guarantee the safety of the people they want to feed. Some people are saying it's the government's fault. If we hold the government accountable for bad policies, institutions, corporate bodies, and private institutions, including individuals, should also be made to answer for their negligence. Is this how cheap lives have become in Nigeria? Well, it makes sense because the case in Oyo State, I mean, the organizer of that event has already been taken into custody, for proper questioning. So it's not just about, tongue lashing the federal government, but Praise, I keep asking, are you Senator Godswill Akpabio's son? If yes, please let us know, because we might just want to send a message through you to him.
A courtesy visit will do, right? But anyways, let's go to this one. This is going to be the last one that we're taking now. Good morning, Daniel and Efe. Good morning to you too. I'm listening from Nasarawa State. He says, it's unfortunate for our people who lost their lives during sharing of food items in stampedes. Nigerians should get ready to do the needful by 2027. There can be very short and precise. Go straight to the point. Hundu is saying that one now. All right, this is where we call it a close, draw the curtains. All right, but not finally, because the EMR, that's talking about the Eagles Morning Rises breakfast show,